Controversy surrounds Korea's next-generation F35 fighter. A U.S. Congress hearing exposed cybersecurity and radar defects that will cause more setbacks. Quarantine inspections will be stepped up for travelers entering Korea from abroad as a means to prevent the spread of the Zika virus. And a Korean team has succeeded in cultivating giant freshwater prawns. The first batch is expected to be delivered in the near future. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Thursday, March 24th. I'm Luke Clary. We begin with more controversy concerning the U.S. firm Lockheed Martin's F-35 fighter jet, which was chosen as Korea's next-generation fighter jet model. During a congressional hearing in the U.S. Thursday, it was argued that defects in cybersecurity and radar were detected in the jet, which will lead to an inevitable setback in deployment.
The U.S. House of Representatives Armed Services Committee has held a hearing to review U.S. firm Lockheed Martin's F-35 fighter jet project. A researcher from the Department of Defense, who is taking part in the jet's test flight, said during the hearing that the F-35 appears likely to be deployed in early 2018 at the earliest. This marks a year delay than initially planned. For the delay, the researcher cited deficiencies that can't be ignored regarding cybersecurity and radar concerns of the fuselage.
Mission system stability, including the radar, still a problem. Inadequate fusion of sensor information from sensors on the same aircraft as well as among different aircraft continues to be a problem.
The official also raised doubts about the U.S. Marine Corps and Air Force's decision last year to deploy the F-35. Gilmore claimed that various system software is incomplete, which provides limited combat capability. The Pentagon said it will fix the flaws in the software at the earliest date to create minimal setback to the timetable as much as possible.
Health authorities say that the possibility of the Zika virus spreading any further is extremely low. However, quarantine inspections will be stepped up for travelers returning to Korea from overseas.
The first Korean patient affected by the Zika virus has been discharged from the hospital, as all of his symptoms disappeared a week after he first experienced a fever. Health authorities said the possibility of the virus spreading further in the nation is extremely low. The authorities said that there is no reason for concern, as the patient did not donate blood after returning from overseas and was not bitten by mosquitoes. In addition, mosquitoes in Korea are not active during this time of year. However, the authorities have decided to step up quarantine inspections to prevent the inflow of people affected by the Zika virus. The government plans to build a smart quarantine system using overseas roaming services to identify people who have stayed in third countries hit by the virus.
로밍 시스템을 이용해서 다른 나라를 여러 군데 거쳐서 오시더라도 그 나라에 한번 갔던 적이 있으면 입국 시에 저희가 찾아낼 수 있도록 그런 시스템을 지금 연구를.
Authorities will also install automated quarantine inspection booths as soon as possible to simultaneously check travel information and the presence of fever in people arriving in the country.
Russian media reports that Assad al-Zubi, head of Syria's anti-government high negotiations committee, said North Korean combat units are fighting on the side of government forces in the Syrian civil war. Russian news agency TASS reported that al-Zubi made the claim at peace talks on the Syrian internal conflict currently underway in Geneva, Switzerland. Al-Zubi revealed that the North Korean units are named Cholma 1 and Cholma 7 and that they pose a danger to Syrian anti-government forces. There's a new method that can be used to grow giant freshwater prawns in Korea. A Korean team has succeeded in cultivating the giant river prawns, and the first batch is expected to be delivered in the near future.
The giant oriental river prawns are known for their long and blue claws. They're freshwater prawns originating from Southeast Asia. Though the name is unfamiliar in Korea, The prawns, which are quite famous overseas, can now be grown in the country. One seedling think tank collaborated with the National Institute of Fisheries Science and succeeded in the mass production of the river prawn babies. Key to the success is an environmentally friendly farming technology that involves growing microorganisms in underground water for them to self-purify the water. The prawns are relatively easy to grow just by adjusting the right water temperature. The giant prawns are expected to generate high added value due to their savory taste, lack of fishy smell, and firm, chewy flesh.
기존엔 바다새우인 흰다리 새우가 양식을 주를 이뤘으나 이번에 민물새우인 큰징거미 새우의 대량 생산기를 처음으로 열게 되었습니다.
The first batch of some 500,000 prawns will be parceled out later this month to hit the domestic market in the fall.
As Korean exports fall, the Minister of Trade and the heads of export-related institutions made the rounds at export companies to hear more about some of the obstacles that they have been facing recently. Here's more.
The annual exports of this transportation crane company amount to $7 million, making it a small but strong export company. Exports account for about 70% of its sales, and the company's CEO personally continues to market overseas.
영어도 잘하고 각국별로 현지 문화도 잘 알아서 할 수 있는 사람을.
The Minister of Trade and the chiefs of export-related institutions such as the Small and Medium Business Administration and KOTRA visited small and mid-sized export companies to hear what kinds of obstacles they face. The entrepreneurs seized the long-awaited opportunity to complain about difficulties they have been facing.
R&D에서 만드는 기술이 평가를 못 받으니까 실적이 없으면 아예 자체적으로 해결하는 방법이 없습니다.
The CEOs of export firms said that measures are urgently needed to boost the exports of small and mid-sized businesses in order to revive Korea's rapidly plunging overall exports. The government officials visited small and mid-sized export firms in the so-called caravan of exports to hear their voices directly and find a solution together. They will visit 4 industrial parks nationwide by Thursday.
Voice phishing scams continue, especially targeting senior citizens in recent days, asking them to keep their money at home. The latest scam is urging victims to withdraw their money, saying that their bank account information has been exposed. Several thefts have already been reported.
A man covering his face steps into an apartment building. Moments later, the man steals close to $82,000 from a 74-year-old who kept the cash inside a washing machine and closet. This lady in her 80s also nearly lost her entire lifetime savings. She went to the bank to withdraw her money after receiving a phone call claiming her bank account had been exposed. Fortunately, the crime did not take place as a bank clerk alerted authorities. These are a few of the many voice phishing scams continuing in recent days. Unlike past patterns when the caller posed as law enforcement or a financial institution luring victims to transfer money, a new type of swindling is urging victims to withdraw their money from the bank and keep it at home. Then the scammers will lure the victims out of their home by telling them to pick up a new security card at the bank. That's when they barge into their homes and take the money. Most victims of this particular scam are senior citizens. In collaboration with financial institutions, the police have taken preventive measures, including establishing a 112 hotline for those who withdraw large amounts of money from their account.
The number of consumers buying products for low prices from overseas online shopping agents has soared. But customers should exercise caution as many online buyers have experienced problems in the process.
Customer damages related to services provided by overseas online shopping agents have been found to have surged more than 5-fold over the past 3 years. An analysis of damage-related consultations conducted by the Seoul Electronic Commerce Center shows that more than 4,400 consultations were received from consumers regarding online shopping agents for overseas purchases in 2015. That's 5.4 times more than in 2013, when only 818 consultations were provided. The analysis also revealed that consultations on damages sustained by consumers using the services of overseas online shopping agents accounted for 5.6% of all consumer damage consultations in 2013, but surged nearly fivefold to 26.4% in 2015. About 51% of the consultations involved contract cancellations, refunds, and returns. Consultations on shipping delays ranked second at 38%. The analysis shows that teenagers need to exercise extra caution, as most of the consumers who suffered damages while using the services of overseas shopping agents were teenagers who are sensitive to fashion and have a weak financial power. The Seoul Electronic Commerce Center urged consumers to pay for their overseas purchases with credit cards because receiving refunds for payments made with cash is complicated.
Recently, a light trainer plane crashed at Gimpo Airport. More and more light planes conduct their training flights at Gimpo Airport, which also accommodates many large passenger jets, leading to concerns that a much worse accident could one day arise.
A light trainer plane crashed at Gimpo Airport immediately after its takeoff. Squeezed between large passenger jets that carry hundreds of people, light planes are conducting training flights under questionable conditions. The smaller planes always hover around the airport since their pilots practice takeoff and landing for training. Pilots of passenger jets complain that they have to stay on alert. Light planes conduct about 16,000 training flights a year at Gimpo Airport alone. That comes out to an average of 44 flights a day, meaning 1 out of 10 planes in operation is a trainer.
고속도로에서 오토바이나 자전거 운행을 금지하고 있는 것처럼 많은 여객기가 운항을 하고 있는 공항에서 훈련을 목적으로 하는 경비행기의 운항은 제도적으로 좀 제한할 필요가
Although a series of accidents involving trainer jets has been reported as flight training has become more popular, the Ministry of Transport has not yet devised any new preventive measures.
Children with developmental disorders often face difficulties expressing their feelings and opinions, but there's more than one way to communicate. Photography is one of them, and today we introduce the world seen through the eyes of 7 young photographers.
A mischievous younger brother who cannot be stopped by anyone when he's in a playful mood. A watch on a table which goes unnoticed by other family members. These are the most precious things in the everyday life of 10-year-old Kunu. Upon seeing a group of toy animals, Do-young thinks that the animals are on their way home. Sneakers stained with paints, the clouds floating in the sky, and white puffs of dandelion seeds represent the beauty of the world as seen through the eyes of 9-year-old Jae-hee.
뭔가 정해진 거 아니고 배운 거 아니고 그냥 뭔지는 모르겠는데요. 그 아이가 보는 그 시선이 어떤 느낌으로 와요.
The photographers are 7 children born with autistic disorders, brain lesions, or intellectual disabilities. Children with developmental disorders who find it difficult to speak and who behave differently attempted to interact with the world through photographs. The exhibition is warming the hearts of visitors who are encouraged to better understand children with disabilities through some 40 photos, despite their slightly awkward focus and composition.
For some people, spring doesn't just bring beautiful blossoms, it can also mean skin problems. The gap between morning and daytime temperatures and severe air pollution can contribute to the trouble. Today, we bring you some of our best spring skin tips. Despite the warm spring weather, a lot of people worry about their skin because of the severe air pollution. There are a number of factors that contribute to skin problems in spring.
봄철 환절기에는 꽃가루, 황사, 미세먼지 등에 의해 피부염이 잘 생깁니다. 야외 활동 시간이 늘어나면서 자외선에 의한 피부염도 발생할 수 있습니다.
Severe dermatitis can be alleviated using laser treatment. Lasers help suppress bacteria that cause dermatitis. It's even more effective when a moisturizing ointment is used. You can also protect your skin using natural face masks.
깨끗한 피부로 돌아갈 수 있는 각질 제거 전용팩 보여드릴게요.
Before using a mask, remove dead skin cells using brown sugar. But if your skin has become too sensitive due to inflammation, mix the sugar with some starch powder. Starch powder makes sugar particles smaller and less irritating. Mix 2 spoons of starch powder with 1 spoon of brown sugar and 1 spoon of milk. You can adjust the thickness using milk. Apply the mask all over your face and wash it off 5 to 10 minutes later by gently massaging your face. Your skin will instantly feel softer and cleaner. Now it's time to calm your skin. First, grind some potatoes, which have an excellent calming and even a whitening effect. Then mix with licorice powder, which you can easily find in supermarkets. What effects does this mask have?
감초 뿌리는 항균, 항염증, 면역 기능 항진 등의 효과를 볼 수 있기 때문에 피부 트러블에 사용하면 완화되는 효과를 볼 수 있습니다.
To make the mask smell better, add a few drops of lavender oil, which has an antibacterial effect. A healthy lifestyle and the use of moisturizers on your skin will help you get back that healthy glow this spring. And now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.